Recording, right, sorry, I was a bit delayed. Hi everyone, and welcome to this LifeVantage overview. Today being Friday the 24th of April. My name is Samantha Harlow. I'm a certified holistic therapist and I am your host this evening. So I thank you to each and every one of you that has spent the time to hop on board. Now we have got a very special lady is going to be sharing her information on our overview. Now, if you are hearing this for the first time, you're going to walk away with some amazing information that could really change all aspects of your life. So take notes, take it in. This evening, we have one special lady. Now, I am so honoured to be a part of her team. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be on here today. But not just me, thousands and thousands of people worldwide have had their lives changed because of this woman. She is amazing. She is American. She lives in Australia, actually on the Sunshine Coast, married with 4 amazing children that I love. She has a heart of gold and drives her business with passion. Do you know what? Kari used to be a ballet dancer, well, a dancer for musicals as well as productions. And what I love the most when you get to, if you haven't met Kari already, she used to be a dancer for Disney. And I keep going, oh my God, just imagine having a mum that used to dance for that production. So she has not had the traditional network marketing experience, but she has the heart. So 6 years ago, she found this opportunity and was one of the first that came across to Australia, bringing this amazing, amazing activation products. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Kari Christie, and she will take it away. Thank you, Kari. Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can.
Yes, thank you so much, Sam, for that beautiful introduction. You know, I was just sitting there thinking when you were speaking, and one of my favorite parts about this business is the people that come into your life through it, that become like your family. And Sam and her family are just one of those for me, as well as so many other people. So I am really excited to be here tonight to share some information with you that I am deeply passionate about. And I encourage you to listen with an open mind and an open heart, because you never know where this information can lead you. And I'm saying that from my own personal experience. I never imagined that I would be doing this. I wasn't looking for it, but this opportunity and these products found me. And before we get into more information, I want to share a little bit about myself and my family. There we are, my husband, and yes, we have 4 kitties who are absolutely our life and the reason why I do this business and my drive. And all of this entered my life through the products 8 years ago. I have been activated, as you'll get to understand what activation is a little bit later. I've been activated for 8 years, and through a family health crisis, we saw and witnessed the power of our products firsthand. I knew instantly that this was a gift. And you know, when you have a gift, you don't just keep it to yourself. You end up sharing it with everybody. And that is what I was doing. I had no intention of building a business, or organically, it was already happening. And I still had no intention of building the business. It just wasn't in my radar. But my dad knew that we were in survival mode. He knew the products were phenomenal. He understood the opportunity that we had. And I want to share something right here. It's a little cartoon here. It's a concept called the 3 economic wheels. And he knew that my husband was in wheel number 1, which is job employment wheel. Okay, so we're in this wheel, and when we're in there, we're at work, and when we're in that hamster wheel, we're getting paid. And the moment we jump out of it, our pay stops. And this is where we were. We were not getting ahead. We were doing the same thing every single day, hoping and praying for a different result, but nothing was changing because nothing was changing, right? That's actually the definition of insanity. So then there's wheel number 2. And I already knew that this was not a wheel that I wanted to be in. Some people have incredible experiences in it, and it's definitely, you know, what they find, where they find their passion and purpose. But my dad has been in this wheel his whole life. And oftentimes you think, you know, your own boss, it's going to be easier. But my experience and his experience in it, watching as a daughter to a father, was that he was chained to this wheel. He was the first one into work. He was the last one to leave. We hardly saw my dad growing up, and that impacted me so much. And I knew that this was not a wheel that I wanted to be in. And the third economic wheel is an economic engine that we were building. And Dad understood that this was the opportunity that we had here. And he encouraged. And finally I understood it. It was 6 years ago that I jumped into this opportunity. So what we do here is, are we in that wheel? Yes. Yes, absolutely. This does not build on its own. It's a second income stream that we are building, but we are in there. We are committed. We are passionate. We are dedicated. We are doing the do's. We are out there educating and leading and developing leaders. So we are doing the work. And as we do, we're building a foundation, and we're building an economic engine to where you can jump out of the wheel and it will continue to turn over time after you put all that work in. I was able to have our 4th baby. I had built a foundation already. I was able to truly be with my family during that time. And what happened, because I built an economic engine already, is that my paycheck continued to roll in, and it grew. My business grew during that time. It has been an incredible blessing in my life. And this is what we're speaking about today. So our company, LifeVantage, we are at the forefront of nutrigenomics. Now, you see these 3 terms over here. I just want to briefly explain them, because you're going to hear them as I talk through this presentation. So biohacking. You all are biohackers, and I am one too. I had no idea what that term meant, but this means taking control over your own biology. So people have been doing this since the first day. You know, they are doing this. Athletes are doing this they're biohacking their bodies through getting optimal sleep, optimal nutrition. I think about my grandma. My grandma, when she was in her 60s, she used to do crossword puzzles, and she'd say to me, "I'm doing these because I heard that if I do this, it keeps my brain active." She was biohacking her brain power by doing crossword puzzles. So we are going to be talking today about biohacking our bodies through nutrigenomics. And I had no idea what that meant when I first started this business. But what that means is the effects of nutrition on our genes. And the other term I want to talk about here is how we're going to be biohacking through nutrigenomics is by activation. Now, I want to be really clear on this, because what I'm going to be educating you on today is not what you are probably used to, which is more supplementing the body. It's not supplementation. It is activating our bodies. And it's a whole new thing that a lot of people have never heard about. So why is it so important to biohack our bodies these days? Well, if you just look around, you will know that the world that we are living in today is nothing like what it was centuries ago. And I'm talking about toxicity levels. So you think of the food that we're eating, and some people that aren't aware of what's in the food. I mean, you're thinking of additives, preservatives, even organic food. It's still depleted of nutrients and minerals that our bodies are in lack and in need of. Not to mention Wi-Fi. Everywhere we go, in our homes, in the shopping centers, in the airports, everywhere, there is Wi-Fi, radiation, what we're putting on our skin. So what we put on our skin, 60% of it is absorbed into our bodies and within 26 seconds into our bloodstream. It is so important to know what we're putting on our skin. But let's also talk about emotional stress. So everybody experiences emotional stress at times. All these things, this world that we're living in today is very different. And all of these things lead to something called oxidation. Now, if you're like me, once again, I had no idea what oxidative stress was. And I'm wondering, have you heard about it before? And I'm going to explain it very, very simply. I have a simple mind, so everything I explain today is going to be in simple terms. It is just simply the breakdown of your cells. So we know how a tomato oxidizes, the deterioration of a tomato over time. Or think about when you have an apple and you cut it open. What happens if you leave that apple uneaten and you leave it sitting there on your counter? What happens? It starts to brown. That is oxidation. It's happening at a cellular level in our bodies as well. You see a normal cell there, and then cells attacked by free radicals, which we have when we're breathing and when we're eating, and then all this toxicity in the world as well. Free radicals attack the cell, and then ultimately you end up with a cell with oxidative stress. So is it a good idea to reduce oxidative stress? I have a feeling from everything that you've probably already learned in just this little bit of time that your mind is already saying, absolutely. And yes, cellular stress influences everything in your body. It influences every cell, cells are made up of, your tissue is made up of cells. So then every tissue, every organ, every system, and your entire being. Oxidative stress has an impact, a great impact in your body, particularly over time, the longer that it is left there, and you can see the effects of it. I usually don't encourage people to go to Google to look up stuff because, you know, you can just find anything on Google from different bloggers' opinions and not precisely facts. But go Google oxidative stress. You're going to see instantly that it's not a good thing to have in your body, and we all have it. So let's talk about ways that we can reduce it, because yes, we can reduce it. Remember, biohacking is taking control over our own biology, and there are ways, particularly in our home environment, that we can reduce oxidative stress. I mean, turning the Wi-Fi off when you're not using it, that's going to help. Things like knowing what you're putting on your skin. Is it clean? What you're washing your hair with? Things like your cleaning products, having natural cleaning products instead of toxic chemicals that you're using. These things you can control, but we cannot control always. But one thing that I want to talk about specifically is our diets here. So our diet is so important, and we know this for many, many different reasons. And it is so important to have a diet that is rich in antioxidants. So remember those free radicals that we spoke about? Antioxidants eliminate free radicals, and through food or supplementation, it is a one-to-one elimination. So one antioxidant molecule eliminates one free radical in your body. Now listen to this. In our bodies at any given time, we have something like 30 or 13 sextillion, it's a crazy number. It's a huge number with a lot of zeros of free radicals in our body. Now, do you think knowing that diets and supplementation is a one-to-one ratio, is that doing the job, or do you think that our bodies are overwhelmed in this day? It's just not, it's not enough. So what was discovered back in the early 1990s was a biochemical pathway called the NRF2 pathway. This is a pathway in our body that it's a normal function in the body. And when this pathway is activated, it turns on our own body's production of antioxidant enzymes like catalase, glutathione, and SOD. And if you look at this picture here on the right, it shows you the ratio. Instead of 1-to-1, it's a 1 to 1 million ratio. It is so much more powerful. So this is what we're talking about today, is activating the body, and it is a powerful tool to biohack our body. So what does research say? As I said, it was in the early 1990s that this NRF2 pathway was discovered. And since then, there has been so much more research coming out. And in fact, in 2015, Washington State University did this study on the NRF2 pathway. And look at what it says. It says NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. That statement, it still gives me goosebumps to this day. That is such a powerful, big statement. You know, when this came out, I had already known about activation and had been activated myself for a few years. And this just reconfirmed to me the gift that we have, which is why I am so passionate about sharing this. This is our flagship product. It absolutely has my heart. I've been on it for 8 years, and I have seen the difference it makes in people's lives. So what is it proven to do? In studies in the States, it is proven to lower oxidative stress by an average of 40%. So you are protecting your cells and your body against that oxidative stress. It's supporting the natural cellular repair and rejuvenation processes. Now look down here at what it's composed of. Phytonutrients, Antioxidants, we've got turmeric, milk thistle, green tea, ashwagandha, bacopa. These have been around. We know the benefits of taking these phytonutrients on their own. But what was discovered is in the specific blend. So it's a little bit of each phytonutrient put together that I say creates magic. And the NRF2 effect is 18 times stronger in that blend rather than when taken individually. It is so powerful. And so you might be a researcher, and I encourage you to go do your research. Jump on this site, pubmed.gov. If you have a notebook and pen and you're a researcher, write this down, pubmed.gov. So I'll be honest, I'm not a big researcher. I'm not a big sciencey person. But when I started sharing this and building a business around these products, people came to me and they said, look, I have something that sounds so similar to what this is. And I would say, hang on, let's go take your product and let's type it in here to pubmed.gov. Now, this is where worldwide peer-reviewed research is put on. And I'll tell you, to be peer-reviewed, it is an extensive process. And we go there and we put in their products, and I'm telling you, nothing ever popped up. You might find one study on a few supplements and products, but nothing ever popped up. And for me, that just reconfirmed again, oh my goodness, this is just amazing, you know, something that the whole world needs to hear about. So go to this site, type in our product, Protandim, and you're going to find to date 26 peer-reviewed studies on our product. And these are third-party independent studies done by respected research institutions. And this just blew my mind. I think when I first started the business 6 years ago, there might have been like 11 studies on there, and there's 26 now. And these are places like Ohio State, you can see them all here, American Heart Association, Washington State University. And not only that, but some of these studies are published in medical journals. It's phenomenal. So please, if you are a researcher, go do your research. You are going to absolutely love what you find. Okay, so not only do we have that NRF2 pathway, but we have another biochemical pathway called the NRF1 pathway. Now, this is all to do with mitochondria in the cells. And once again, I had no idea what a mitochondria was. So I'm going to explain in simple terms. It is the powerhouse of the cell. So it's basically the battery of the cell that produces the energy. So this is how our heart beats. This is how, if you can see in the screen, this is how my finger can move. This is how our organs are functioning. So important? Yes, absolutely. In fact, 80% of cellular energy comes from mitochondria. And after the age of 20, your body is a lot less efficient at producing this energy. So once again, antioxidants, look down here, alpha lipoic acid, coenzyme Q10, grape extract, quercetin, acetyl L-carnitine. In a blend, when using these in this blend, it activates the NRF1 pathway, and you're going to see that your mitochondria, this boosts the mitochondria production and their ability to network. It enhances your cellular health, and therefore your cells are going to function at their peak performance and increase cellular energy, ATP. A lot of people have heard that term before, which translates to physical energy. So as you can see here, NRF1 and NRF2 and NRF1, they work together for optimal cell communication. And I will tell you, I encourage you, they are so vital in this world that we are living in. It's activation, it's something brand new. And I want everybody who's hearing this to experience these products. So then gut health is the next topic that I want to talk about. And it's out there everywhere now because we know how important gut health is. Hippocrates, way back in the day, he used to say that all disease begins in the gut. And I want to flip-flop that around and say, well, if that's true, then we know also that all health begins in your gut. So think about this. We know that maintaining the right balance of microorganisms in our digestive tract, we know what that does. That's vital for your physical health, your mental health, immunity, and much more. So our ProBio is different to what you're going to find out there over the counter that you can usually get your hands on. I love this feature right here, the DR Caps technology. So as it says, it's a unique controlled release technology. And what's going to happen is it's going to deliver those probiotics throughout the day. And the most important thing is it's getting down into your small intestine, which is where it is needed. That's where it's needed to maintain that healthy environment in your gut. Most probiotics that you can get your hands on dissolve within 7 minutes. And what that means is that they're not even getting past that stomach acid. They're being killed off in there, and they're not even getting into your small intestine. But our probio, because of that DR caps technology, it doesn't even start disintegrating until 52 minutes. So what does that mean? It's getting down where it's needed. And there's 6 different quality strains of the probiotic. And what I want to also share is, it says desiccant bottle here, number 5. I love this because traveling and with kids, and you do not have to refrigerate it. It's so cool. You can just leave it out, you know, on your counters, which is just really, really handy. So these 3 are the most efficient way to start the biohacking process and activation. Nerf 2, combating your free radicals. Nerf 1, enhancing energy levels. And the probio, optimal digestion. And I worked it out. What is the price of these 3 together per day? It is only $6.30 a day to be on these 3 products. To me, that is just so affordable. And like I've said before, it's so vital in the world that we are living in today to help support your body so that it can function and work the way that it was made to, so you can be the best version of yourself. So we also have a True Science skincare set. Now, I love this because to me, it's so much more than a skincare. As you can see over here, the percentages and what it says on the screen. Yes, it does all the facial stuff, but in our house, it is a first aid kit. It has that Nerf 2 technology in it, and we use it in a lot of different ways than just simply a skincare set. It's a 4-part system. What I love about it, as I mentioned before, that what we put in our skin, it's 60% is, you know, soaked into our body and within 26 seconds in the bloodstream. So it is so important to have clean products that you are using on your skin, and our skincare set is free of all those nasties right there. And in fact, if you see down here in the corner, it says Think Dirty. That is an app, and I encourage everybody on here to go download that app and go around your house and check the things, the products that you bought in your house, and see where they are on a toxicity level. It will show you between 0 and 10 where your product is in a toxicity level, and anything under 3 is considered clean. And I can proudly say that our skincare, free of all those nasties, is a 2. And you know, our skincare set with that Nerf 2 technology, it's helping your skin function the way it is meant to function, and it's going to bring your skin back to that pH level of 5.5. So I love it so much. And a little secret, my husband uses it too. I can say that because he's not here right now. So also we have a hair care system, which I love as well too. So we love this system. Once again, clean. As you can see here on that Think Dirty app, it comes back at a 2, and the conditioner is a 1. And this hair care set actually won the Stevie Award in 2019 last year. And this is like the Oscars for business and products, and we won it for best new product. I had a hairdresser who has been in that profession for years, and she has done hairdressing in multiple countries as well. And she ordered this straight away. And within her second use of it, her words were, "My hair has never been cleaner." So once again, just a phenomenal system. And you know, it just shows we have such quality products that are different to anything else out there on the market. And on that note, I now want to talk about the quality of people that our company attracts. And I figured the best way that I can paint this picture for you all listening is to speak about this lady right here, because I feel like everybody in the world knows who Erin Brockovich is. So Erin Brockovich, by the way, if you haven't heard of her, there's a whole movie out there on her. Julia Roberts stars in it. Go watch it. She is an environmental activist. She's a health and wellness activist. And her mission, she says, is truth. So she really knows how to dig deep and get the research and really look into things. She digs deep for truth, and then she'll stand up for the little people. And she learned about our products in our company through a friend, and that led her to doing that deep research. And what she found was that she aligned with everything that we are about. And I love that. And she ended up joining our board of directors last year. And I feel like that just highlights right there the kind of people that we attract company-wide. This is on the corporate side and in the distributor force. So you might be thinking, well, what exactly does this opportunity look like? What exactly is it? And the word that comes to mind for me to explain it is social entrepreneurship. Now, this means it can be online, this means in person, but think about this, the whole new gig economy. So think about Uber. Everybody knows what Uber is. What is Uber? They are the largest transportation company, right? But do they own a single car? No. Think about Airbnb, the largest accommodation company. Do they own a single piece of real estate or a hotel? No. What do? They are connectors. They connect people with people who have something of value. And really, that is where this world has headed. And it's brilliant. I will tell you, I would say 90 to 95% of my business from my phone within the realms of my daily life with 4 children. Here at LifeVantage, we are passionate about these products. I could not do this if I didn't have that full passion and belief and understand the science. We are passionate. We are educators. We love what we are sharing. And what we're doing is we're out there educating people, and we are building a network of customers, people that are product users, and a network of distributors, those that are locking arms with us and building a business. And I will tell you, there is power in building networks. That's why you find people like Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, author Rich Dad Poor Dad, who he loves network marketing because he understands the power in building networks. And as we're doing this word of mouth advertisement, if you'd like to say, or education, our company pays us for doing that. So it's just brilliant. I love it so much. And when you're thinking about joining a business, there are 4 key components that you can look at. They're right here on the screen. Product, I've already spoken all about it. There's nothing out there like this. Activation is in a class of its own. It's where everything is headed. And you can see that when you look at the research. I want to talk about one thing that is here with our product is that on the business side, when you are building a business, you want something that is going to be consumable every single day, because that is going to build a strong foundation. And we take that and we have oodles of science, just so much science, and we are affordable. Like I said, the activated essential packs, $6.30. It's just so affordable for people. And I love that. That's important to me. The company, this was really important to me as well. We are a publicly traded company. We're on the NASDAQ. I personally have bought and invested in our company through stocks. Now, out of hundreds of network marketing companies, there's only a small handful, I think somewhere between 9 and 13, I'd have to look it up, but a very small amount that are publicly traded. So very important, because there's full transparency. You can look everything up. And in fact, the start of the year, our whole corporate staff was invited to ring in the closing bell on the NASDAQ. So it was such an honor to do that. We are, as we said before, we are part of that gig economy. We are a young company, but we are not new. We are established. And the leadership in our company is phenomenal. It's pointing us in the direction of massive growth. Timing, talking about that growth, let's go to timing now. Now, to understand how important timing is in a business sense, just think about real estate. What is it in real estate? It's all about location, right? In business, it is timing. And I encourage you to think about your network and, in fact, test it out. Go to your network of people. Ask them, have they ever heard about LifeVantage? Do they know what activation is? Nerf 1, Nerf 2. And I will tell you, most of them, if not in some cases, probably all, have never even heard about us. Just talking about our country here in Australia, there's only 1% of Australia that are active distributors in here. The timing is incredible. We are opening in markets globally every single year. My business specifically is in 16 countries right now. And I will tell you, well, did I know people in 16 countries? No, but I knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody, right? The power in building networks. So timing is just amazing. Oftentimes people, moving on to the last one, they go, this all sounds amazing, but can I do this? And I'll tell you from my own experience, this is where I sat for a really long time. It took me a year and a half after learning about our products to actually jump in and fully grasp what we had. But I will tell you, yes, community, one of the most as I said at the beginning of this presentation, my favorite parts about this business is the community that you join. You are locking arms with people, you're building this, you're in a place where people support you and encourage you. That is where you can thrive and grow as a person. We have duplicated systems that you plug into step by step, where you can learn everything that you need to know to grow your business. Presentations, events. Once isolation is over, we have events where corporate from America fly over. They support us. Top leaders, leaders in Australia are flying all over. So everything is there for you to be able to do this. You just lock arms and you go with us. So because we are publicly traded, we do have an income disclosure statement out there. You can look this up online. And I love to share this because it gives you an idea of what you can make out of this and how far you can take it. So I want to pull your eyes and your focus to the average monthly commissions in that middle column there. So those, sometimes people come into this, they just want to simply cover the cost of their products, and they can do that. The ranks of Pro 1, 2, 3. I had a Pro 2 actually. It just warmed my heart so much. She got in contact with me one time and she said, my check this month, it covered our groceries this week. And she was ecstatic about that. And then there's people that want to take it further. And these are people that are working this part-time. You can look at Pro 4, 5, and 6. This is where it starts to become supplemental income. What would an extra $1,000 to $6,000 do for you? For me, this is when the financial stress started to lift in our life. You know, this is where a mortgage payment can be taken care of, your car loan. There's just so many different things where you can think in your life how this can benefit you. And those that really, really want to take this and make something out of this and even potentially build a legacy that can be willed down generations, look at the income for Pro 7, 8, 9, 10. I am a Pro 7, and I will tell you, woo, it's gonna make me emotional. It has completely changed the course of my family's life. And to me, the money is a side effect of everything else that we are doing here. Serving, locking arms with people, helping other people tap into their potential and their dreams and a new place, dream again, build their plan B. It is a beautiful business model, and you can really, really, truly make something where you can really start to give back to the world, as well as set up generations to come with an incredible legacy. So just to finish off from my end, I love getting people to think about this. So I love getting people to think ahead. Think 6 months ahead, a year ahead, 2 years ahead, 5 years ahead. Where do you want to be? What do you want your life to look like? What do you want your health to look like? Your financial situation, and what in your life has to drop out or what has to come in. And what you've learned today with an open mind and open heart, can this be an answer to what you want to create in the future? We have oodles of research out there that if you need more research, please, we can tell us and we can guide you to there. Go to pubmed.gov, look at those studies. And you might be somebody that's so ready to get started biohacking. We can help you get started on our products. And as you've been listening to this information, your mind already might have started thinking about people that you want to share this with. And I encourage you to look at the business. Maybe you resonate and align with everything that we're doing here, and you're ready to start a plan B, or to dig the well before you're thirsty, or to set up something that could potentially, bless generations to come. Let us know, and whoever invited you on here can help you get started wherever you're at. So thank you for listening. I am now going to pass the time back to Sam. I'll stop screen sharing here. You there, Sam?
Wow. Thank you, Kari. Isn't she amazing? I cannot get over the passion that she has, and she is my inspiration and definitely leads with the heart. So thank you so much, Kari. And do you know what? One of the reasons that I started the business was not because of what the business model was about, because I had not looked for a business, right? I started, and LifeVantage was introduced to me because I was unwell. Being a holistic therapist, right? You are servicing. You have to be on game. You have to be really positive. And because of life circumstances, my physical body was shutting down. So I had a friend come to me with these activation products, and I was in a state where I thought, well, whatever's going on for me now isn't working. So I tried the NRF2, because that's when NRF2 was the only product that we had at that time. So I'm talking about 4 years ago. Just over 3 years, I started the business, and I'll tell you the reason why, because the results that I had and my quality of life changed. It was and do you know what? My life has changed continuously since. It has been the most amazing experience. And I thought I couldn't hold it in. I needed to share with the world, and being, that holistic therapist, it was just a given. So I have been in the business for 3 and a bit years. I have met some amazing people, but not only that, I got to meet the love of my life, and he's on here today, and you will hear a bit about his story as well. And if it wasn't for LifeVantage, I wouldn't be living the quality life that I am. So in saying that, we have also got 3 special guests. So it is Dean. We've also got 2 other guests, Coral from New Zealand, and our beautiful Kate that's on our team as well from the Sunshine Coast. So Dean's going to start it off. He's been in the company for 14 months. He's actually a licensed plasterer, and he's going to share a bit about his story. He's got 3 children of his own. He lived in Cabarita Beach in New South Wales, and now obviously on the Sunshine Coast with myself. I met him, well, he met me when I was presenting an event in Byron Bay, and we sort of hit it off 14 months ago now, Mary. That's so exciting. I'll move on to the next, which is Coral. So she's going to also share a bit about herself. She moved out from New Zealand to Perth with her, I'm going to quickly just check, her 3 children. She did have a traditional business, worked very long hours, but she had to sell because her late husband illness. So she's gone through a lot. So you will really love hearing from her. She has been in network marketing and had her own businesses. So she will be a great asset to hear her story. And then we're going to hear from the lovely Kate, who is a single mum on the Sunshine Coast. She is a young mum and so much energy. She's a personal trainer, and she's had a bit of a rocky road growing up too. She's lost a few family members, including her mother. Her mother was never around for her bringing her up, lived with her father and watched him work his heart out as a carpenter, right? And retired with next to nothing. So this has given her that drive to look at a career path, to be that mother that she wanted a mother to be for herself, for her son, and also, set up a lifestyle and an income to support her moving forward. So there are 3 guests that are going to share their stories. Can we start off with my beautiful, handsome husband? Dean, are you there? Oh, we can't hear you. No. Well, while Dean is trying to get that, is Coral there? Coral, can you unmute, Dal?
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
It's a pretty hard act to follow. Everyone's got their own story, and Kari, that was just an amazing presentation and so full of energy and vibrance. I think it's just amazing that everyone starts with just a story of the products, and I'm no different. I was never going to come back into any network marketing business. I've had a history of it, and it all started when my partner had a car accident just about 18 months ago, and he was sandwiched between 2 cars. And if you saw the state of the cars when he came out, you would just be amazed at how he even got out of it. However, he had a back fusion when he was younger, and so that caused an awful lot of compression in the spine and a lot of more damage and inflammation in the body. So it was probably early last year that a friend of mine said, look, I know that he's not great. You know, how about you have a look at this product? We believe that it can reduce the inflammation. So, you know, we like natural alternatives. We don't like painkillers or anything. So we started to look at some of the testimonials from this product, and we thought, oh, well, we've got nothing to lose by trying it. So he started taking it as well as myself, because I'd actually had a rotary cuff surgery about 2 years prior, and I couldn't lift my arm above here. And so I was still in a lot of pain, and I had 2 neurosurgeons deciding whether or not they would do a neck fusion first or whether they would redo the operation on my shoulder. So we both had some inflammation in our bodies. So we started just taking the NRF2 the first month, and the first night I slept right through, and I'm not a sleeper, and I thought, wow, this is just in the first night, this is great. So I was just amazed by that. And then the second month, after having a look at all of the science behind this and how it actually worked and what it did, I like to understand whatever I'm taking, we decided to jump into the business. And so we started taking the NRF1 and added that ourselves. And I just saw such a shift in Pete. He was alert. He was getting up in the morning and going back to bed. He was going to sleep in the afternoon. He's normally a very vibrant physical person, snowboards and surfs, and he wasn't able to do any of that. So I just saw a complete shift in that he was alert and he was awake, and that was just huge for me. I have no inflammation, as you can see. I can lube, you know, wave my arms around, do whatever. I've had no surgery. I've had no surgery. Now, I don't know whether that's going to change in the future. I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, I'm not getting any younger, but right now I don't feel the need to have any of that. But that's not all. We have our little dog, a little Maltese Bichon. She's about 12 years old now, and we had a bit of an incident with her about 4 or 5 months ago. Came home one night after being out, our backyard's all safe and secure, but the poor little dog, she couldn't walk, and she kind of messed herself, and she just was in pain, and we don't know whether she ate something, whether we don't know whether she was bitten by an insect. We don't know. So we had her at the vets for 3 days, and they couldn't figure it out either, and had her on a drip. So Pete said, look, do you mind if I just give her a natural tablet? He said, oh, look, I don't know anything about it. So Pete went up to the vets, and he gave her half of a tablet. She's only little. Said to the vet, can you give her half a tablet tomorrow morning? And he did, and we brought her home that day from a very, very sick little dog, and she's still activated and running around like a puppy now, which is just amazing. So triple stories there, and look, that's just led us to a business. You know, we're pro force in the business now, and we love it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. And you know, that's really going to relate to so many people, and obviously our pets, they don't suffer if the placebo effect. So thank you. I appreciate your time so much, Coral. Now, Kate, if you could unmute and share a bit about your story.
Thank you. Thank you so much, beautiful Sam, and everybody else that's joining. So thank you once again. This is my first time actually presenting in a group like this, so I'm so excited and blessed to do this. I have got a bit of a story, as Sam just explained. My background history of working, I've always worked in the hospitality industry, and I always knew that there was something else there, you know. I basically did it because I knew the job. I'd go there, I'd get paid, I'd come home. I had enough money for the bills and enough money for a bit of savings, but I always knew that there was something else there for me. I just did not know what it was. So I was full-time prior to having my son. And obviously, due to circumstances, like Sam said, with my mum not growing up that much when I was a child, I knew from a child that I wanted to be there for my child when I was a mum as much as I possibly could be. So that really got me thinking, you know, the change dynamics of working at the resort full-time, and with my dad working his heart off as a carpenter through his whole life, and coming home and only retiring a couple of years ago with not much to show, it really got me thinking, one, about being proactive about my health, and two, about something that I really wanted to do for now and for the future, for myself and for my son. So all of a sudden I found a solution, and this is what it was, you know. As soon as I heard about this product, I could not wait to start it for myself and to share it with other people as well. I've always loved to help people, and the fact that I can help people optimize their health and potentially their future as well is just something that really, really warms my heart. So I haven't had too many health issues, which I'm very lucky about. But the fact that I'm taking charge now, and I'm taking charge of my sons as well, is something that I'm so proud of and so happy to be able to do. For me, like Coral said, my sleep, I did not realize that I was not getting a really good sleep. And being a single mum, you know, like the energy, I was having afternoon brain fog almost every day. I no longer get that. I have energy, and that is so important to have when you have a little 4-year-old to run around with. I had energy like I've never had before, and my recovery after exercise is important because we need to look after our bodies. So many other things. I'm feel happier, and I feel my emotional stability. I didn't realize how much out of whack my emotions were. So I love everything about this. I love the product. I love that we help other people. I love the community that we are in. I love that there are all different walks of life in this, and we all are in it for the same thing, and that is to better our life and to better other people's as well. So that's pretty much what I have to say to everybody tonight.
Oh, thank you, Kate, and a big clap. First time on a Zoom, sharing her story. Big deal, you know, and this is what this company does for people. It makes all of us grow, and we all have. It is one of the best things about it, getting healthy and growing a good way in our minds. Anyway, gosh, I'm good at this, aren't I? You know, we deal with technology. I did say that Dean was going to share his story. So he's next to me. He was going to not be next to me and look a bit more professional. But this is Dean, my husband, and he's going to going to share his story.
Well, thank you, my amazing wife. So thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. So it is an amazing experience to be a part of this company. But the main thing for me on just being activated from the very beginning, I always wanted to get out of the rat race. I'm a licensed plasterer. I'm also a holistic practitioner, but I always wanted to get out the rat race. So I was always seeking for something that I can actually have, you know, money flowing into my account when I'm sleeping. So when you stop working as a plasterer, you stop that money flowing. So I was always seeking that. And a friend of mine from over the States, Kelly, she actually told me about these activation products and what it did for her and her story. And it just blew my mind. So I did the research. I was just, after a few days, I was just blown away by the research and what I was watching. And I jumped in on the business straight away. I didn't even try the products at all. I just went full head first, just going straight into it. So, and from then on, I've just been activated for, like Sam, 14 months now. And through that whole process, I've just had an amazing experience being a part of this company, meeting some amazing people. And, you know, now I've got more time for my lovely kids. I've got 3 kids, Jade, Sapphire and Onyx, and they're amazing. And meeting this amazing woman next to me, my beautiful wife, she rocks my world, and I just absolutely adore her.
Okay,
so
that's great. Can we finish there?
Okay,
thanks, Steve.
I wasn't
All
finished.
right, sorry, quick. Go on.
No, it's okay. Thank you so much for that, Sam.
I know, that's amazing. Thank you. Oh, I so appreciate you, Dean, as well as all our guests tonight, sharing their stories and hopefully igniting your hearts and opening your minds to how to really get healthy and how the possibilities of being able to share this information, how you could change your life as well as those that you love and around them, and the word spreads by sharing that information. So before we finish up, Kari is going to close and share a few closing words, and that is all from me. So thank you so much.
Thanks,
Awesome.
everyone.
You know what I have to say? Not only do we cannot claim to treat, prevent, or cure disease, but we cannot claim that you will find a spouse through LifeVantage either. Look at you two. I love it so much. And I just love hearing the stories, and Dean, hearing yours again. I remember when you came on board, and, it just activates your own heart wanting to help and, people find what they are looking for in life. And that's where I want to end. I want to end as you listen to this information, the ideas and the thoughts that were coming into your mind, or anything that you felt in your heart. If you're a feelsy person like me, please act on it. Act on it, because you do not know how this can change your life, as it has for so many of us. If you're looking for more information, we can point you in that direction. Let the person know that invited you on. If you're ready to get started, let them know. We can help you. And lastly, if everything that we spoke about resonates with you and aligns with you, let's help you get started on the business side. So I just want to thank everybody for taking the time out of their Friday night to be here with us and jumping on here. We appreciate all of you. And just adding to, if this isn't for you, you may know somebody that absolutely is on their knees praying for this. So stay open to that as well. But that's it. Thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful weekend, everybody, and a good Friday night.